right. Well, I appreciate y'all coming here today and hearing us speak. A lot of great speakers. The next 6 minutes, my goal is for y'all to leave with one new behavior, one new attitude, or one new technique. The topic we're going to be talking about today is high touch meet high tech, or high tech meet high touch, however you might see it. Show of hands, who's in favor of AI and technology? Who hates it? Great. This is for all of y'all. Right? As we look at these pictures and we go through the journey of a business owner, sales leaders, and sales professionals, there's some similarities that you might gravitate towards when it comes to some of these slides. For instance, this struggling salesperson. This is what sales professionals are dealing with every day, being bombarded with so many tools, information, CRM updates. It's very frustrating. Here's what's even more frustrating for business owners. They're investing a lot of money on marketing. They're investing a lot of money on tools, resources, but they end up seeing this image every single day. They walk into the office. Every time they open up their Salesforce or their HubSpot, they're seeing leads come in and money not coming out. And why? There's a kink in some of the processes or systems, right? When it comes to sales professionals and we're trying to invest in them, we need to stop thinking about tools and start thinking about the success triangle. What you see here is 3 things. Number 1, an attitude. What's the belief that we're supplying our sales professionals with? Number 2, how are we training the right behaviors that they need to execute in their role? And number 3, what are the techniques? Not techniques as far as overcoming objections, but how are they having conversations with real life people? This is where AI and technology comes in place. This is where AI or technology meets human. What does that mean? That means that we must leverage technology, not hide behind it. How many sales professionals do we have in the room, right? Be honest, how many times have we hid behind email or automation because we didn't want to have that tough conversation, right? It's human nature. So we must first uncover, why is that? Why aren't we having more genuine conversations like you see here? Why are we hiding behind technology and automate it? Well, it comes to what you see here, the potholes in our sales process, the potholes and how we interact with conversations. How are you uncovering some of the pain that we talked about today, right? How are we uncovering some of maybe the psychological, like Jen was talking about earlier, that we kind of run into in our day-to-day? Well, it comes with 3 different wheels, guys. This is a flywheel you see here. When it comes to technology and human high touch, we first must uncover what are the 3 things that we need to implement in our process, in our systems, in our everyday genuine conversations. Number 1, it's going to be the buyer's journey, right? How do we uncover and understand our prospect and client's journey? Where have they been? Where are they at now? And where do they want to go? At the same time, where are we at in our sales process, right? You see engaging, qualifying, and closing. That's your sales process. And then you have to choose a methodology, right? I run across some clients saying, Hector, we don't have a methodology. I go, great, that's your methodology. Right? A decision not to make a decision is still a decision. A non-methodology, not having a methodology in your organization is still a methodology. So ask yourself, do you have clarity? Do you have clarity? Do you have what we call consistency? Clarity is knowing where you're going. Consistency is doing it every single day, not just writing it down in a journal or putting it on your calendar and say, hey, it's going to get done. Well, first, are you reviewing with your team, your playbooks, your systems, your processes? Are you auditing them just like you audit your taxes every year? When's the last time you pulled out your playbook and actually had a great team session to see what's working, what's not working, how do we be better in 2026? And then we call this the rhythm or a cadence. Why is it important to have a cadence or a rhythm? Why is a cadence and a rhythm important? Consistency. What else? Good habits. When we have good habits and clarity and consistency, we know what's going to happen, right? We say in Sandler, if you know and do the behaviors you're supposed to do, you can bet on the outcome. And lastly, when you do those things, you finish, where you have true commitment. So why AI? Why technology? How do we, get people to have more human nature, human touch? Well, we need to stop we need to stop treating AI as a placeholder or a replacement and start seeing technology as a team member. How many people have an assistant, executive assistant, chief of staff, right? Someone who basically is your boss and tells you what to do, right? Yep. That's what AI is. It's not about replacing you or replacing employees. It's about how do we leverage the systems and processes that we already have in place, and how do we be more effective? How many of y'all have been in here drowning in data? That's what our sales professionals are doing. We're giving them more tools, more data, and they're feeling overwhelmed. What you see here is sales people not really understanding where to go, what to do. We call it creative avoidance. That's why they're not prospecting. That's why they're not closing. That's why they're not following the process. They're being drowned by data. So we need to build them a compass, right? Where they need to go and how they're going to get there. Coaching. Everyone loves a coach until it's time to do it. I always say everyone wants to be a leader until it's time to do leadership things. Productive or busy? Where are you at on that spectrum? And the hourglass you see here is the busy that we try to, act like we are being productive, but really it's just busy work and not high payoff activities. We have to ask ourselves, how are we spending our time and how are we being productive with not just our technology, not with our people, but with our systems and processes. So here's the challenge that I have for you guys. It starts with you. Are you going to implement a new behavior? Are you going to implement a new technique? Are you going to implement a new attitude, right, when it comes to your process and your system? Again, it says where high tech meets high tech, or high tech meets high touch. The choice is yours. Have a great day, guys.